Anybody here can double their income with this lesson. It's so simple, it's embarrassing. You'll walk away shaking your head. You say, that's so simple. Because all the great truths, by the way, are simple truths. I've studied philosophy going back to Socrates and Plato and Aristotle. All the great truths ever discovered are simple and easy to apply. They are not deep or complex. If it's complex, it may not be true. Okay, so what we know is that all of time management, and I've written, my books have sold millions of copies in 38 languages. I'm probably the best time management author, best-selling time management author in the world. And I don't even consider myself to be a specialist. But what I did is I began learning from the experts. I read every book, I took every course, I traveled around the country and sat in on seminars. I bought every time management system and used them so I understood how they worked. And then I put it all together into systems. And I have, Eat That Frog is a short book. It's available down the street here. I just came from Bratislava. They have it in Slovak language. I stopped off in Prague for 4 hours. They have it in Czechoslovakian, Czech language. The head of the company that brought me in last November found a copy of this book and began to read it. And today he has 1,000 employees, and he attributes it all to this book. He said it transformed his life. He carries it like a Bible. It's written up and rewritten and wrinkled and everything else. He said it's such an amazing book because it basically says this, is decide upon your goals and your most important goal, and then every day begin your day with a list. The best time to write a list is the night before, because when you write a list the night before, the next morning you'll come up with all kinds of ideas for the list. It's like goals for the day. Then what you do is you look at your list and you say, if I could only do one thing on this list, what one activity, what one task would I want to be sure to complete before I left town for a month? All right? And that becomes your most important task for the day. Now, the Eat the Frog concept comes from a story where they say the first thing that you do in the morning is you eat a live frog, you'll have the satisfaction of going through the day knowing that's probably the worst thing that can happen to you, is eating a live frog. And the two corollaries of this principle are, if you have to eat 2 frogs, eat the ugliest one first. Now, the frog is your biggest task. It's the one you're most likely to procrastinate on. It's also the one that will have the greatest positive impact on your career if you do it now. And so if you have 2 really important tasks, do the most important one. We say do the worst first. Do the biggest, ugliest one. And the second corollary is that if you have to eat a frog at all, it does not pay to sit and look at it for too long. So what you do is you start on that task. Now, when I've done this talk, or part of this talk, for corporations, very often they will go out and they will have brass frogs made up for all their executives. And the brass frog sits on the executive's desk. And it sits there so when they come into work, the first thing they see is the frog. Or they plan their day and they put the frog on top of the plan. First thing they see is the frog, and it reminds them, start and do the worst first. Do the task that has the biggest ramifications first. And then discipline yourself to work single-mindedly at that task. No matter what happens, if you get pulled away, keep coming back to the task like a gyroscope keeps coming back to center. Keep on that task because you've now decided that everything else is a relative waste of time except this task. It doesn't mean they're a waste of time, but relative or in comparison with this task, everything else is secondary, of course. If you can do that and develop the habit of doing that, you will double your productivity the first day, and it will just continue to increase for the rest of your career. You will be so productive, you'll get so much done, you'll get more responsibilities, you'll get more opportunities. But here's the wonderful thing. Everybody wants to feel like a winner. Everybody wants to feel like a winner. So how do you get the winning feeling? Simple answer, you win. Okay, how do you win? Well, you cross the finish line first. Now, fortunately, in life, what successful people do, and I learned this after many years, it's so important, is they set up finish lines for themselves that they can cross. And so, if you complete a task of any value, it's like winning a little bit, and you feel like a winner. You start, you work, you complete the task. Even if all you do is wash your car and clean out the inside, you stand back, you feel happy. Because whenever you win, your brain releases endorphins. And endorphins are called nature's happy drug. And they make you feel happy. And your self-esteem goes up. And your self-confidence goes up. And you feel happier and more personable. You're actually a more charming person, believe it or not. When you set up a task and you complete it, you feel like a winner. your endorphins go up, your self-esteem improves, your self-confidence goes up. Now, if you have a list of tasks to do and you choose to do your most important task and you complete it, you get a rush. It's called an endorphin rush, like that, and your brain releases endorphins which flood your system and make you actually feel exhilarated. You almost laugh out loud. You're happy. Your heart rate goes up. You're smiling. Sometimes you will stay and will work late at night to complete a task, and you get it done at 2 or 3 in the morning, and you finish it. And even though you should be exhausted, you're happy. You can't sleep. You're walking around. You watch television. Because you feel great. So what do winners do? Is they recreate this feeling over and over until it becomes a positive addiction. Now, positive addiction is a very interesting subject. You can get a negative addiction to an illegal drug, or you can develop a positive addiction to endorphins. And positive addictions are fed by setting and completing important tasks, tasks that have an important role in your life. People say, well, don't you lose your spontaneity if you're always working on top tasks? No, you're happy all the time, and you are respected and esteemed by the people around you, and you feel proud, and you have a positive self-image, and people like you, and you earn more money. What's to complain about that? So therefore, it's a very simple thing, and that's why the book transforms people's lives. It takes them from rags to riches. Make a list, identify your most important task, start on that, and stay with it until it's done. Now, I said I would give you a formula. I'll give my friends a formula here. I call it the AB formula. And the AB formula says simply this. If all the work you have to do, there are 2 types of tasks. There are A tasks that move you toward your most important goals, doubling your income, improving your lifestyle, increasing your sales and marketing. There are B tasks that do not move you towards your goals. Conversations, playing with the internet, reading the paper, going for lunch. In many cases, they move you away from your goals. So here's the rule. Do only A tasks. Do not do B tasks at all. If you will do only A tasks, the tasks that move you toward what you say you want, only those tasks, and then you do the tasks that move you the fastest toward what you want, your most important task, you will have a wonderful life. But most people, 80% or more of people, spend their entire days on B tasks. Tasks that are fun, small, irrelevant, useless, make no contribution to their careers, and they don't understand why 10 years have gone by and their income has gone up at the rate of inflation. Whereas the people who've been working on A tasks, their income goes up and up and up. People eagerly pay them more money because they are so valuable to the company.